Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's OpenONU Go call. Thanks for joining. As usual, the call is public and recorded and will be shared live on YouTube. So, first topic of the day is the image update. I can give my side of the update, then I'll let Holger maybe speak for his. We did a lot of fixes thanks to Michael, which is now on PTO. There was some announcement on the CRC and some devices list element that was not needed was removed and backported to 2.7. There was also a fix from Holger that was backported to 2.7, so that's done, which is this handling of specific things for the OpenONU. Then there were some further tests done by Radisys, and we found a few more things that we will work on when Michael comes back. Some of them were already worked on. We then merged the two patches for the finishing up of the straight download, activate, and commit sequence with the new APIs. So that's done as well. And also, so the next step on that side is to split the download, activate, and commit in 3 separate calls with the new APIs. So that's what Michael gonna work on when he comes back. In the meantime, I know that Holger is actually working on the get image status. So Holger, do you want to give us an update on that?
Yeah, I just uploaded a patch to support this Volt control command device ONU image list, and I put the current output to Slack. You have seen it some minutes ago. Currently, the BVSIM delivers the same software version for both image partitions, but probably it is normal. I don't know how it looks after the upgrade. It has to be investigated, but it seems to work now. What is clear that BVSIM is only delivering the mandatory attributes, not the hash or the product code is not delivered, but it is considered by the patch. It is printing not provided. I don't know if it is okay for you. Perhaps you can shortly show this current output of the Volt control command I put into Slack, if it is okay for everybody, or if we should change something.
Yeah, let me show that. Maybe do this.
Normally, one line is break here. The question is dot provided okay for the interface, or?
I mean, it looks good to me.
Use another term.
It looks good to me. Any thoughts? More than welcome.
The question is the Volt control command line interface. What is it? Is it really the one of the official interfaces, or will the operator more deal with element managers?
Oh, they will use the gRPC interface, but the gRPC interface is actually tied into the same into VoltCTL. So VoltCTL uses the gRPC interface. So whatever information it's retrieved by VoltCTL can be retrieved by any NEM that uses the gRPC interface. So I think we're good. That's also.
You mean this display will go through up to the operator, right?
No, not exactly display. No, not this display. Only the protobuf definition that is used to display this information. So the protobuf message will go but not the display. The display is just vote_ctl. We can go with effectively what we want. It's more of a debugging, testing, convenient tool rather than a production usage.
I see. Okay. Currently, I'm thinking on a small change. Currently, I don't react on the reset issues which occur during the command handling, during the OMC handling. Probably, I provide tomorrow a small add-on for the patch, which is also reacting on reset of the system by external influences or external issues, but this only would not change the output itself.
Okay.
So just one thing, I was checking in BBSIM, and BBSIM is returning both the product code and the hash in the call. I'm not sure that is received, it may be stripped out by the library because of the attribute mask.
Matteo, can you repeat? It was very hard to read you. Do you mean it is should be part of the response or not?
BBSIM is setting that. My only concern is that it may be removed based on the attribute mask we are using. I can check that.
Yeah, okay. But okay, but if you deliver it, it will be displayed.
So Theo, you're going to check why this is not shown? Is that my understanding?
Yeah, I can check that BBSIM actually returned that, but yeah, I can take a quick look.
Okay, thanks. Okay, that's good. So I guess we're going to wait for tomorrow for your announcement before we review this, Holger.
Yeah, actually, you can also take a look. It would be only a small change.
Okay.
Probably to evaluate the channel a little bit differently, but the whole implementation will stay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good. That's great. Perfect. So I know we have not made any progress on the resource usage unless Amit or some folks from Radisys have looked at this, but I personally didn't have the time to take a look at that. In the meantime, while we were testing the upgrade, there was a finding that confirmed an issue that I was seeing on the pods, where for the Deutsche Telekom workflow, we have a problem, a race condition actually, where the ONU, whenever the ONU sends a dying gasp indication or loss of pawn indication, the Deutsche Telekom workflow, as per their decision, is to delete the ONU from Volta, so it then can come back up in a cleaner state. The problem is that if that delete call arrives during the processing of the actual child device lost during a disable ONU or disable pawn port, for example, this is where I observed it. We have a race condition and things go into a bad state. So that's a bug that I've filed. It's Vol 4108 that we need to fix and before the release. So that's something we will have to work on at some point. Okay. On the PM, now any more questions? on this one?
No.
No, okay. Then on the PM data, we are making great progress. There's some work that is being done by Himani on the get external value for the OpenOLT adapter that is here. The protos, I think, are merged, and there are 2 patches for the OpenOLT adapter itself and VoltCTL to retrieve that value. So you can go check that out. Please do a review. I've asked Himani to address a few issues that we're seeing in the linting and the testing, but that should be done fairly soon. On the PON transceiver, I know Gamze started working on this one. Again, 3 patches, VoltCTL, VoltaProtos, and OpenOLT adapter to retrieve the PON, the transmission power for a specific ONU. That has to be retrieved by Volta through the OpenOLT agent. So the only missing patch for that functionality, I think it's already merged actually. The OpenOLT patch is actually already merged for that was provided by Mahir, if I'm not mistaken. Or
I'm not sure. Gamze should work on it, but I'm not aware of the latest state of it.
Okay.
Yeah, Or has provided a patch for the agent and it's merged.
Yeah, agent is merged, but
okay.
adapter I don't know yet.
Yeah, no, the agent patch is already merged. So that was my remembering of it correctly. It was merged some time ago, which used Broadcom suggested script to gather that information. Okay, good, perfect. Then as soon as we merge those 3, I think this is also completed, which is great. It's very, very good. One thing that I'm not sure about the status is these 2 elements on the NEG test. Girish, any update here?
Yeah, the BBSIM implementation is done, but
okay.
I'm a little lost on what's this need for timeout. There's definitely a timeout in the adapter. It doesn't wait indefinitely for the results, NIG test results.
Okay, great. Then this is done.
But I'm not really sure in what context this was written in. If it's what I said, then yeah, we're fine.
Okay. So also on my side, I had an action item to go back to Deutsche Telekom and Netzia. I've spoken to the Deutsche Telekom guys, so this is what I heard from them on these event notification and corresponding performance counters that are not ONCI related, but are like more general functionality related from the adapter to the ONU. So there were the MIB data resync, MIB data sync mismatch, MIB data resync, MIB malfunction of the MCI channel, ONU restart from the adapter, and ONU and self-initiated adapter restart. So I've talked to Paul from Deutsche Telekom and Bjorn, and the first 3 could really be solved by, for them, having a CRC count. OMCI packet counter that ensures that we get as many replies as messages that we send, and the error count can be kept, and it's just the difference between the sent and the received messages. Holger, do we have something like that already in your MDS check thing that you did?
No, this are new stuff. I think that is not implemented yet.
Oh, okay. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's just knowledge that we don't have it. That's good, but it's okay.
Does it mean you have extended a little bit the original reasons? Does it mean that they are interested also on the other ones, or is it a full list you have discussed with them, or that they say we want this and additionally the new ones?
No, so this I started from the Jira. The Jira only reported the black bullet ones, okay?
Yeah.
And really, the idea is that sure, we can fire away these 3 events, but the only way to fire away these 3 events is to actually have a counter. And that counter is the one that could spring then the event. So the events are interesting, and they can be fired by having this internal counter. That's the implementation. And DT is interested in those, even though the highest priority one that they would like to have is the event on which an ONU is restarted by the adapter upon I think the only situation where we actually restart, we provision the ONU is upon failure of reconciling. Is that correct?
Actually, there are 1 or 2 situations also in normal processing where we already discussed with Michael that probably it would be best to restart the ONU because we have a deadlock in the state machine or something like this. But currently we are not doing that. Probably we should discuss it in a smaller round. What would be the root cause or cases where we should consider to reboot the ONU? That would be actually the last resort or the last possibility to come down on some deadlock situation.
Okay, but quick question. At the moment, we never restart the ONU from the adapter.
Yes, only on request, on RPC request.
Okay. So I think this is currently.
But for example, for reconciling, I think we discussed also in the review with Maninder that it could be necessary that the RW core takes some actions, probably directly via the OLT, because, for example, the OLT channel is blocked or something like this.
Yeah, but that is not yet implemented. So at the moment, we don't do any restart of the ONU. So I think it's okay. We can, go ahead, Girish.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't restart, but it does MIB reset. I mean, it's probably not same as ONU restart, but it does reset the MIB sometimes.
Okay. So what you're saying is that we should fire an event upon MIB reset?
I don't know. I'm just did they really mean restart or was it MIB reset?
It's a good question.
Yeah, it could also be necessary to restart because probably ONU gets stuck or something like this.
Yeah, probably yes.
I think the last resort would be to switch the light off for the ONU.
But does this mean we're restarting a device without operator input?
No, hold on. MIB reset is not a device restart. Device restart.
Understood. But there says ONU restart initiated by adapter. Right? That to me says the ONU is being restarted by the adapter based on some trigger that is not operator.
The question is, or do you objection against this?
Hold on. No, guys, no. Let's not go there. Let's not discuss it right now. It's not done. So let's first find the situation where we could do it and then decide if we need to do it. Let's not go down the discussion right now, because otherwise the rest of the meeting goes there and we cannot afford it. So it's not going to be done right now. It's not done in the current code. So it's a TST discussion. It's a broader discussion. Let's identify first where it might be required, and then we go discuss if it's required and if we actually have to do it. The other point is the MIB reset. The MIB reset is effectively obtains the same result. It's still service impacting because you're still going to lose the complete data plane of the user. So maybe that's a good event to have. Am I reading this correct?
That would not cover all the error cases, probably when something is on OMCI connection is disturbed somehow, then would be not enough to do a MIB reset, I think.
Okay, but hold on. That is one of the situations where we could contemplate the reboot, but we're not doing that right now. What I'm saying is it worth with the current code creating an event that we push to Kafka saying ONU MIB reset? Is it worth it or not? Or is it something that we can do or like?
Yeah, it could, as a failure handling, it could be worth to indicating this.
Yeah, maybe also check with Paul if they're interested.
Okay, we'll do.
Yeah, this is Amit. Sorry, maybe I missed this part. So under what condition do we do the MIB reset?
In an unsolvable error condition, if we come into a situation where or also, for example, if we running out of sync with ONU during MIB audit, we see that there's something wrong, or the configuration is not correct on both sides. Then the MIB reset would be done. For example, that is the audit. MIB audit is, for example, one reason. And also, one could think on particular error conditions where we have to have a fresh start.
And back to the point of TST discussion, right? The
Yeah.
MIB reset or whatever being driven by the adapter based on some internal telemetry and business logic is a concern, because at what level are we implementing what do I want to say, data analysis and action when that data analysis and action should be done outside of Volta? Maybe it does belong here, maybe it doesn't, but I think that's a broader discussion as to when an error condition, when a detected error condition, or should the error condition correction be detected within the adapter, or should the adapter and Volta kind of expose the data and let an external business system make that error correction?
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense?
Yeah. Has to be decided, yes.
Okay. I'll. So for now, let's shelve this, especially given that this is not really done, and this happens on really very small cases. I think this can be shelved for now, up until further discussion when we have more time, and actual people that can implement it. Anything else on the PM that I'm missing? I think that these two are actually the only missing elements that from the spreadsheet that we were having with the requirements. Is there anything that comes to mind? I know that there is this get current data from UChip. What's the status on that?
Yeah, I talked to Grish during Slack last week, and he doesn't currently use that or have a need for that in 2.8 to get current data. And there is a bug in it So it's not used, but it needs to be fixed probably after 2.8 if we don't want to impact anything.
Yeah, I think that's fine. If it's not used, I think we can go after 2.8. That's okay.
Okay. And I do have to fix available, so.
It's fixed and it's part of you know, the mainstream.
No, not yet. I haven't done a JIRA. Since it's not in use. I didn't know if we want to go ahead and push it. I'd be happy to push it if we want to.
Just to be sure, Himani might be implementing the get extended PM counter set that you know, fetches the free running counters, not the 15-minute interval counters.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure if that requires the get current data, you know, message or not.
Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and file a bug JIRA and
Okay.
then start a review on it. And I'll also copy her just so that if, you know, she gets to it before it's merged, she doesn't spend time.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else on the PMs before we move to another topic? Okay. Then the next topic is about the testing. Torsten, do you want to give us an update generally on testing and how are things?
Yes, I can do. It's a very small update because I'm the second day back. First, I looked at our pipelines, which was not so funny, but now it will be better. And thanks to Matteo for the hint for the PM data tests in the pipeline. Hopefully they will run successfully next time. To NEG test, I didn't start it yet, and I will do it soon. OMC hardening tests already done. They run in the pipelines successfully, so right. And SSH session, that's my main topic on the next days, hopefully.
Okay, great.
But first, I would like to update a very small patch for the PM data to get the correct port forwarding, to get the correct service from the Kafka bus. There, I did a very small patch before my vacation, and it was not. It was a hard-coded patch, and I tried to make it a little bit more flexible.
Okay, sounds good. I think your patch. I think your patch to fix the Kafka stuff was merged this morning, so at least that should run. I actually merged it like a couple of hours ago. Okay, great. Is there anything else that on the testing side that we need to discuss? No? Okay, then if not, let's go to the next step, which is the traffic descriptor ME. I saw, Ozge, you pushed a patch. Do you want to walk us through what the implementation does?
Yes, I uploaded my patch last week, and I observed exceptional case during my local test, and I am working on it. I will update my patches as soon as possible.
Okay, thanks. Would you still like us to give it an initial review, or would you prefer to finish the implementation before we take a look?
After my last updates.
Okay, then we will wait on reviewing this. Thanks.
Okay.
Great. Any questions that you have for the folks here?
Actually, I don't have.
Okay, sounds good. Perfect. Great. Okay. On the extended OMCI frame support, Chip, how's it doing?
Well, it's pretty much done for 2.8. I've also been going through some of the easier to use message types. So once someone wants to use extended OMCI, we might have the full set, but I'm not planning any more merges into 2.8 unless someone else needs some extra support.
Okay. Okay, on the reconciling, the patches for reconciling are merged. That they're in. They've been running in the last few days, a couple of days. I still know that there is a reconciling a failed situation that the RW core needs to handle. Holger, are you in discussion with David and Maninder about this?
Not currently. Maninder said that during the review that there's a discussion ongoing, that there will be a new state, something like reconciling failed, which will be consumed by the RW core, and he has to take some actions for it. But I'm not directly involved in this discussion.
Yes, actually, I started working on supporting reconcile failed, and means I need to discuss few things on that. That what kind of action does RW core or adapter have to take if reconciling is failed? So one approach is to send reconcile failed to our RW core side and take appropriate action from the core side only. And another approach is like if like reconcile failed, or we can reboot the OLT device on the basis of error. What kind of error that would be? Means
You mean the not the OLT, but the
ONU. Sorry,
yeah.
ONU.
But it is a discussion we just postponed, right?
There's also the situation where the reconcile is kicked off and the core never hears back, right? Which for some reason there's communication error, and so no message can come back that actually failed. So reconcile has to time out at some level and get to an error and state that way as well.
Mm-hmm. Now there's a question how to deal with it.
And you're right, I think it's that same conversation that we queued off for later.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, maybe I can have a discussion with Holger later on this, and we can decide a appropriate design for that.
Okay, so the conclusion is that this needs a TST discussion, really.
So I think it should be discussion should be done in a broader range, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think there's two parts of it. I think there's situations where the event coming back that it's failed can still happen. That have to happen either way. The timeout of core timing out because it's kicked off reconciliation and hasn't heard back from the device, has lost connectivity to the device, whatever. There's still an error there that needs to be dealt with. The question is, what are the consequences of that error? And that's the TST discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Makes sense. Okay. Okay. Let's then take it up to TST. I'll schedule it for some time, hopefully soon. Next week at the end of the storage discussion. Okay, good. Okay, so there was a bug that was which fix was introduced by Ozge. Ozge, would you like to talk about this one? I have very little context on what this is.
I sent this patch for multiple UNI scope and multicase gem. You know, multicase gem should be one for per ONU. So I added check mechanism if one ONU, if we created multiple multicase gem port in ONU. I sent this patch for that.
Okay, I guess I'll have to review this, and maybe Grish, if you don't mind reviewing this as well.
I'll check. Thanks.
And we probably need to run this on hardware before we merge it on Turk Telecom tests.
Sure.
Okay, let me. I can do that.
Actually, I added this patch links below multiple UNI supports title.
Andrea, this is the last say task for the multi-UNI case. I mean, it has a subtask under the multi-UNI stories.
Yes. Yes.
So this is not a bug. It's
oh,
not a bug.
I see,
Yeah.
I see. Okay. Sorry, my bad. I thought it was something related to the fact that we were creating something double, but actually not. Okay, I see. Okay, good. Then we can just wait to run it on hardware when everything is ready. Okay, so about the multi-UNI, we actually merged one of the preparation patches from you, Mahir, which was this one.
Yeah.
So that's in. No, the other one. Sorry. So this one is in. It's merged and it's included. Just go ahead and the other one needs to be merged, and there's also another one that needs reviewing and merging. I think this one is fairly close to being merged. There were some issues in the Tucson pod. I have had not the time to take a look at them. We need to take a look at this.
There. Yeah.
So I know Andy and Girish were looking at the Tucson pod yesterday evening, and I think they have fixed the issues. So I don't know if you tried a recheck today.
Actually, I rechecked it yesterday evening, but it again failed. So I'll check it today again. Send a recheck again.
Okay, if it fails, just
problem
ping
was,
me. I can look into it.
Okay, the first problem was about downloading the patch to the reaching the pod, etc. But now currently there's a failure, and I want to check the logs, but the log is belongs to April 19th. You know, it's an old log. So
okay.
I tried it two times after Girish said that the problem is fixed. I tried again, and it's still same. I think this is something else. I'm not same with the first problem. Yeah.
Okay, I'll take a look. So the issue is that we are collecting the wrong logs.
Yes.
So we cannot really see what's happening.
Yeah. If you go to the Jenkins and look at the artifacts, you will see check the say Volta ONOS combined log dates. You will see that it's April 19.
Ah, great.
Yeah, it seems the top seems to be pulling wrong patches, what Mahir said, but I haven't taken a look.
Okay.
Wrong version.
I've rechecked it. Let's see. So maybe we have fresher logs. Okay. I also, last week, I had an action item to check if we could shift some bits for better having the proper representation for the Uniport. I did some investigation, and per the OpenFlow spec, if I read it correctly, and also the way we are doing statistics, for example, in the OF agent and in the OpenFlow repo library, sorry, I think we can do it. That's my assessment. I think we can do it. So in this way, we could use more for the ONU number and less for the port number. But it has to be tried, I guess.
Okay, then I guess we need a task for this for after Volta 2.8.
Yes. I'll do it. I'll create it. I'll take an action item on myself to create this. Okay. Great. So this is the flow error reporting to a W core. I know Michael did some checks and reported to Mahir that actually, so the initial checks on the flow are like is correct and everything is fine and it's properly configurable on the ONU, etc., or immediately reported to the core. But errors that might arise from the status of the flow actually getting installed on the ONU, those are actually not immediately reported. They're not synchronous, I guess, reporting to the core. So that's what it is. And the agreement was that it's not something that we can change in 2.8. Is that right, Mahir?
Yes, that's what Michael said. He said that it should be done carefully, and we don't have enough time to do it in Volta 2.8. But I think it's an important issue, so we should do it as soon as possible after 2.8. And I opened the task for it. It is 4125. So you asked me to open a task for this, and I opened it.
Okay, I'll add it here. Okay. Any comment on this one? No? Okay, then that was the last topic I had for today, but I'd like to open the floor and see if anybody else has anything that they'd like to discuss with the group while we are here. No? Okay, then if not, thanks everybody for joining. I'll give you 15 minutes back, 13 minutes back of your day, and I'll hear from you on Slack and next week. Cheers, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.